Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Coming up on the program, 19 northern governors meet in Kaduna State. Issues affecting the region top their agenda. State governments in Kwara, Ogun, and Enugu states continue to bridge the infrastructural gap in their states. And over 100 women benefit from the IMO MSME funding. Thanks again for joining us. Governors of the 19 northern states are meeting in Kaduna today to discuss issues affecting the region. It'll be the first meeting of the Northern Governors Forum this year. Top on the agenda include the submission and deliberation of the interim report on restructuring, as well as the lingering farmers and herders clashes in several parts of the country. Other issues they're expected to discuss include security challenges in the region, poverty, the economy, and educational development. Declaring the meeting open, the chairman of the meeting, Governor Kashim Shettima of Borno State, condemned the abduction of schoolgirls from Dapchi in Yobe State.
The issue of the lingering intercommunal crisis in various parts of the region, which in recent times appear to be escalating with deadly and destructive consequences, such as the conflicts between farmers and herdsmen. And as elected leaders, it is our primary responsibility to take a hard and critical look at these conflicts and come up with implementable ways and means of addressing them squarely. It is also critically important as a long-term measure to devise viable strategies to forestall all forms of security challenges that may likely erupt in the future. However, I need to emphasize that whatever resolutions we may arrive at should be without prejudice to the various commendable and comprehensive measures being put in place by the federal government in addressing the security challenges, especially the recent abduction of the Dapchi schoolgirls. We appreciate and commend the effort being made by President Muhammadu Buhari in the Dapchi crisis by ensuring the deployment of all necessary security personnel and equipment toward the rescue of our abducted daughters. Our prayers and commiseration goes to the government and people of Yobe State, as well as the families of the victims over the sad and unfortunate incident.
Governor Kashim Shettima of Borno State. The Nigerian Army says troops of Operation Lafia Dole are conducting Operation Deep Punch, and they've successfully cleared and dismantled camps of Boko Haram insurgents in Agapulawa, Amuda, Nyawa, and Atagara, all within the remaining parts of the Sambisa forest. A statement from the Deputy Director of Public Relations, Operation Lafia Dole, Colonel Oyema Wachuku, says the clearance progressed into other unidentified, or rather identified, insurgents' camps, where the troops also cleared pockets of resistance by the insurgents, killing 5 of them in the encounter. The army says it lost 2 of its men in pursuit of fleeing insurgents when one of the combat vehicles was rammed into by a terrorist vehicle with an improvised explosive device. Meanwhile, more solutions are being put forward by different groups on how to manage the security situation in the Northeast, especially with the latest kidnap of schoolgirls in Dapchi, Yobe State. The latest is coming from Muslim Media Watch Group of Nigeria, which wants security agents on red alert throughout the Northeast. According to the group, security agencies should also redesign their operational architecture to surmount the problems. These suggestions were made during a news conference held in Katsina State, northwest Nigeria.
The Muslim Media Watch Group of Nigeria therefore calls on the federal government to urgently put security agencies on the red alert, not only in Yobe State, but throughout the Northeast and Nigeria at large. Citizens of this country have noted the commendable progress made in the area of security nationwide, but appeal need be made to all our security agencies to redesign their operational architecture in order to surmount these problems. 1. Immediate posting of security operatives to all schools in the Northeast on 24 hours basis. Closure of all boarding facilities in all schools in the Northeast until Boko Haram is totally decimated and holistically uprooted. We call on federal and state electronic media organizations to start mass enlightenment that will lead to tracking down of the insurgents and terrorists across the whole country.
Elsewhere, the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has asked the three arms of government to work together in the country's anti-corruption campaign. Concerned at the ease with which stolen money is stashed away, especially in foreign banks, the Senate President said he is confident that the strengthening of anti-corruption institutions will go a long way towards making the campaign a success. Dr. Saraki was reacting to Nigeria's latest ranking of 148 out of 180 countries surveyed by Transparency International's Anti-Corruption Index.
So what I'm saying is that the systems need to be strengthened, the institutions need to be strengthened. Until we understand that those are the issues that need to be strengthened, not individuals, will continue to run into this problem. But politically, it is sometimes better in not addressing those institutions because they're a very tough and long journey. But that's what we need to do. To make it almost impossible for people to be able to start, whether it is access on properties or it's phone, it makes it almost impossible.
I believe there are three elements that we have to focus on in our fight against corruption and in our discussion. First, the need for a comprehensive, holistic approach. So that we have to deal with the issue of prevention. We have to deal with the issue of rewards. So it's not just about punishment, but how to encourage people to voluntarily avoid corrupt practices. We also have to, in terms of prevention and deterrence, the certainty that illegal gains from corrupt practices that cannot be kept wherever it is will be recovered, whether it is in Nigeria or outside.
A former Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, Professor Epiphany Azinge, is asking the federal government to introduce a moderate regulation that will check the people's activities on social media, insisting that freedom of expression is not absolute. Professor Azinge, who was a guest speaker at a colloquium on social media and freedom of expression in Abuja, explains that the call has become necessary to check the activities of terrorists and criminal elements who abuse the social media space. He also reiterates the need for Nigerians to exercise caution in the use of social media so as not to destroy the fabric that binds the country together.
So social media has no barriers, it has no boundaries, and people can say anything they like and get away with it. So for us, the main is there a way of regulating, checkmating, monitoring, as the case may be? And that is why we have made it clear that, look, we want to know, maybe from those who are better informed than we are, whether there can be a delicate balance of assessing the advantages of social media and at the same time making sure that we're able to minimize the disadvantages to the extent that we are sure that it will not impede in the welfare of the people and of course affect adversely the security of a country. Well, my position is one of delicate balance. If that delicate balance can be achieved through regulation, so be it. If that can be done through a way of monitoring by the security agencies and they believe that that is achievable, so be it. But in the main, it is important that to an extent we regulate, and that is my position.